Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm fucking bored, and I want to do a One Piece video because I've got some One Piece videos scripted, and I don't really have a good camera or a good microphone. But I was just thinking, like, you know what? Like, fuck it. I've got free time. Like, I got some ideas for videos, so like, let's just crank one out. You know, we're coming to the 20th anniversary of One Piece, and I just want to give a quick like top five arcs. Like, why not? Everyone's got an opinion on their top five arcs. Mine might look a little different than yours, and the exciting part about this is like I don't even fucking know. Like, I've never wrote out my top five arcs, so we're gonna do it together right now, and it's probably gonna turn out to be a really shitty list, and I'm probably not gonna agree with it once I finish the video, but you know, let's just have some fun and do this. We'll start out with number five, and you might see it in the background right here. I gotta get this arc in there. I don't know. I always just like this arc. So number five is Baratier. I'm gonna write it on the piece of paper just because we're that old-fashioned. But yeah, Baratier. I don't want to put it too high, but I also kind of want to put it on my top five. I don't know. It was the arc that kind of got me hooked onto the series, and I don't know. I just thought it was really good. Like, I'm gonna do a video on the whole thing. People always say like Arlong is the arc you gotta watch up to or read up to, but like to me it was right here. I was starting to feel it, and I think a lot of it has to do with just the location. It's really cool. You got a really like nautical feel, and plus just the like not even like the whole nautical thing. It's a fucking restaurant on a boat. Like, it was just cool. And then you got all the Mihawk stuff, Zoro versus Mihawk, and personally like. Zoro's my favorite Straw Hat member, so like to have a moment like that just nested in the middle of this arc out of nowhere really took me off guard. It's really starting when I was starting to feel like, oh, this series is gonna be fucking good, and I got really had nothing else to say about it. I just always loved the Baratier arc. That's why I got that ship up there. And all right, let's just go to number four then. This is where it's gonna start to get a little interesting because up until number one, I have no idea what I'm gonna pick. So let me look back here, try to get some inspiration for number four. Fuck. Yeah, I really like the East Blue, but I don't want to load it. You know, fuck it. I'm loading it up with East Blue arcs because I love the East Blue. Really love the East Blue. I'm very excited for the episode of East Blue they announced. I mean, I didn't hear a lot of people, but I heard some people kind of like disappointed, like, oh, we already had the Nami one and that kind of stuff. But I always love the East Blue. And my number four pick is also an East Blue arc, and it's not Arlong. It's fucking not whatever the Orange Town. I think that's what the buggy one's called, but it's Log Town. All right, just right there. Look at that right there. It's probably showing up backwards, but who gives a fuck? You can read that. It's Log Town. God, it's a short arc. It's literally, I think it's 5 chapters. It's all in one volume. I think it's fucking, I don't know. It's volume 11. It's all in volume 11. But this is another arc that the anime, I think it did really well. It had a lot of filler, and besides the filler segments, just the Goldie Roger execution moment in the anime is one of my all-time favorite scenes from the anime. Like, just the way they, they stab him, it's all silent, and then the music rolls in, and they all start cheering, and then you got the part where just like a silhouette of Goldie Roger smiling, and then you got the part where like it's showing like him from behind and like the executioners are disappearing. It's just him and the blood. Like I thought that was extremely well done. But besides that, like just the fucking setup of this art. This is like I almost want to turn to this page, like chapter 100. Just the title of that chapter. I gotta see it for myself because it's so fucking awesome. I don't know. I think I opened the wrong volume, but whatever. Chapter 100, the legend begins. Like, with a chapter title like that, you get the introduction to Dragon, him on the Luffy on the platform. It's all great stuff. Just a lot of. It's just really thematically strong. I feel like this is like you start to realize like, all right, Luffy's something special. Like, this whole like King of the Pirates thing can actually happen. Like, he's sitting on or kneeling on the execution platform where the old king of the pirates, Goldie Roger, got killed, and he's staring death right in the face, and he's coming out on top. And I think it's really great. There's also some cool scenes throwing the swords and shit. I don't know. I'm feel like I'm not doing a good job of justifying why this is on my my top 5, but I always just really liked the execution platform stuff, and I really just feel like this is it's a good, like, it's a new beginning for the series. Like, as much as I love the East Blue stuff, like, shit really starts at chapter 100. Like, when they enter the Grand Line, like, that's almost a new beginning for the series, and I think Logtown just handled that so well, getting you pumped for, like, the rest of the story. And let's go to number 3. Or we're gonna start to get some bigger arcs on here, because I know what my number 1 is, and it's gonna be a little bit of a shocker too. But my number 3 is gonna be excuse me. I'm gonna put it's a toss up between Saba Odi and Marineford, but fuck it, I'm gonna put Saba Odi. Just cause, like, yeah, I'm gonna put it as a tie, just because I like both of them a lot. And Saba, like, I'm putting a lot of short arcs on here, so I kind of want to have, like, Marineford on there too. But if I had to pick between the two, it'd probably be Saba Odi, because it just came out of nowhere. Like, the fact these guys, or the Straw Hats, getting separated, no one had that on their radar. They just get utterly defeated on the island, and you get the introduction to all the supernovas. Again, came out of nowhere, and that one really shouldn't have come out of nowhere, because you had to be thinking, like, all right, Luffy's on the Grand Line, but, like, other people got to be on the Grand Line too. Like, other people probably are starting their journey at the same time he is, so, like, where are they? And you don't see them until Saba Odi, but, like, it's kind of weird that I mean, at least I wasn't thinking about them until that arc started. But then once you see them all, it's like, oh shit, like, this is fucking cool. Like, all of the supernovas are cool, and the introductions to all of them is done really well. Again, it's a short arc, so there's not, like, a lot to say, but just the execution of it is so well done. Like, there's just, like, Oda's like, I need probably like 20 chapters to separate the Straw Hats and introduce these characters. Oh, and then introduce Rayleigh, which was, I mean, again, awesome. Like, getting the backstory with him and Goldie Roger, Luffy and Rayleigh in the discussion in the house where Usopp's like, oh, what is the One Piece? And Luffy fucking puts his foot down. All great shit. Really, again, tying into the themes of the story. I don't know what this is. This is so off the cuff. I wish I prepared something more to say about it. So that's what I gotta say about Saba Odi. I just really liked how well executed it was, and just the major set piece scenes, like the introduction of the supernovas again and the separation, all done extremely well. And Marineford, I'm not gonna say much about it, because, like, come on, like, you got all the fucking biggest and strongest characters in the series just fighting, and it's just like, you know, it might be a little cheap, like, oh, that's the shit you like, but come on. We waited 500 chapters. We're 500 chapters of the adventure and everything, and it's all great stuff. Like, I'm not going to belittle it, but, like, after 500 chapters, you got to get at least 40 or so chapters where we can just, like, put all this shit in there and just, like, have a fucking fight. Because it's just like a catharsis after all these chapters, just to see finally all these characters are together. Like, you used to just, like, cheer when one of them showed up, like, oh fuck, there he is. It used to be a big deal, like when Doflamingo shows up in Jaya, or like all these characters showing up in Jaya. It was like, oh damn, like, these guys are so awesome. Then to see them all together, it was like, wow, like, this is fucking cool. And that's all I'm gonna say about that, because, like, we all know that it's a sick arc. So number 2, God, at this point I'm just gonna say the arcs I feel really bad aren't gonna make my list. So, like, Alabasta, love the arc, but not gonna fit on this top 5. Skypiea, again, I love Skypiea, just not gonna fit on the arc, or on the list. Sorry. I'm not gonna talk about anything, but I actually like Dressrosa a lot. I'm gonna come out on record and say that, but not gonna be on my top 5. My number 2 is gonna be Water 7. I pick Water 7 over Enies Lobby, but I'll put Water 7 / Enies Lobby, just to have both of them there. And again, what can I say? Like, this is a lot of people's favorite part of the story. introduction of Frankie, great shit. Robin, the story with her, awesome stuff. Not gonna talk too much about it just because it's not really fresh on my mind. And again, it's been talked to death. The Luffy Rob Lucci fight is probably the best fight in the series still. Again, just the tone of it worked very well. Luffy versus Usopp, just a lot of dark stuff, and just fucking. I mean, my favorite part of the arc. I'll go into that. My favorite part of the arc, of course, is Usopp shooting down the flag and the I want to live stuff. That whole scene was amazing. Really emotional arc. Loved it. That's all I'm gonna say though. But because I really want to get to my number one. My number one is, I'm going to show it to the screen to have the top 5 all shown. My number one arc of the series is Jaya, and I'm going to separate that from Skypiea just because I don't want to like bundle the two together. I always used to tell people my favorite arc is Jaya / Skypiea, but like I only said that because I really love the Jaya stuff like a lot, and I really still do love the Skypiea stuff, but like nowhere near as much as I love the Jaya stuff. And this is actually an arc I'm going to do a fully scripted video on. I've got plans for that, and I want to type up that script and everything. But I'll preview some of my thoughts here. I think Jaya is just the peak of Oda's storytelling so far, because I think there's an episode of the One Piece podcast where they're talking about this, but there's like kind of like 4 stages of like the storytelling in One Piece. Like you have the stuff that's going to pay off immediately in an arc. You have like some of the smaller stories, like so like some of the stuff that pay off immediately. You have like the Little Garden arc, and then like the second sub stage, or I don't even know what to call it, would be like Alabasta. So like stuff in the Little Garden arc would be feeding into Alabasta, and then like the third would be like I think they call it like Milestone. So that would be like Marineford, where they're sprinkling hints, or he's sprinkling hints throughout the story, but it comes to a head in Marineford. And then the last would just be like the overall story of One Piece, like, and that's something we still don't even know 100% about. But Jaya hits all 4 of those points like extremely well. Like it's a short arc, but you have your own story, or it has its own story in it with Bellamy and Luffy, and like that stuff I really like a lot. Like the Bellamy Luffy fight, like it's not really a fight, but I still feel like it is as effective as a fight. Like that one punch, like gets me as pumped as any of the other fights in the series. And just the line after that, oh, where are you going to? And he points up, it says the sky. Like fucking great scene, love that. And the second would be how it ties into Skypiea. And like honestly, like that was like when you find out on Skypiea that like the upper yard was actually once part of Jaya, like that shit was fucking great. Like all the stuff on Jaya that tied into Skypiea, like even the stuff with Cricket, like when Cricket when it shows when Luffy rings the bell and Cricket hears it, and it has that panel with Cricket tearing up, like that part got me. Like I'm not gonna lie, when I was reading the manga for the first time, like that part definitely got to me. So it hits that second phase, or whatever you want to call it, the storytelling. Then the third would be like the Milestone story, so that's Marineford pretty much. And yeah, again, a lot of foreshadowing for Marineford in Jaya, because I think that Jaya is the arc where they have Shanks approaching Whitebeard, and that like really set in motion the Marineford story. So like this is probably one of the first times we really get a picture of what was going to happen. Like I think it was kind of alluded to in Alabasta, because Ace was like, oh, I'm looking for Blackbeard. Like that was the first hint of it, but like this was really when we got the sense like, oh, something wrong could happen, because Shanks going up to Whitebeard like, all right, you got to tell this guy to pull out. And I think that was in this arc. I might be mistaken, but I'm gonna check really quick, because I think that's in volume 25 is when we get the first If that's not, I'm fucking gonna feel like an idiot, but I do think it is. Yeah, it is. Here's Shanks going up to, no, it's not. Fucking, I'm an idiot. No. It's the Rockstar scene. Never mind. So it is still having to do with that, God, I almost feel like re-recording the video because of that mistake, but, whatever. It still has to do with it because it's Shanks sending Rockstar to Whitebeard, and we see Whitebeard for the first time, so that's cool. And then we get the Gorosei for the first time. That's all, like, probably even tying into the overall story of One Piece. And Doflamingo, he gets a lot of the warlords for the first time. So just like a lot of major reveals in Jaya. And then fourth would be like the overall story of One Piece, and like that's even getting at it's the introduction to Blackbeard, which is probably going to be the main villain of the series, is in Jaya. So that's like a main story point getting dropped in this arc. And then you get like strong thematic elements getting dropped, like the Blackbeard. It's in volume 24. That's why I keep looking back because I want to make sure. Fuck. I want to pull this out. I want to pull out this spread with Blackbeard. The people's dreams never die. Like that's like strong on the thematic elements of One Piece, and like this scene with Luffy and Blackbeard, like probably my top scene in the series. Like when Blackbeard's given his whole speech. Yeah, here we go. Like look at that. Like when it's a whole spread and literally all you have is like all white and then just characters, like you know this is like what's in the text is going to be a big deal. And just it's the way Luffy handles this whole confrontation with Blackbeard right here. I can't name another series that introduces their main villain in like a manner like this. But again, like another scene done very well in the anime with just the music and the way Luffy gets up and he's just staring at Blackbeard and how it's like showing both of them like in a split screen. Love that shit. But yeah, it's a great scene. I've talked enough about it. Jai is my top arc in the series. I just love everything it did. And yeah, that's my top 5 One Piece arcs. I'm going to christen this with a title on the top. I'm going to show it to the camera one more time. Top 5 One Piece arcs. And yeah, I'm pretty confident in saying that no one else is going to have a list that looks like this. And I'm also pretty confident in saying like this is probably like not even my list if I really sat down and put some thought into it and like had all the arc names on a piece of paper. What I am confident in though is that Jaya is my favorite arc of the series, and like that's one that will stick there. And there's probably even stuff that I'm forgetting to mention about it because there's probably like every page of that arc like I love it. So that's why I'm doing a scripted video on it, because I really want to get all my thoughts in on it. And I want to explain why, because like I don't think that's an arc. Like not a lot of people would say that's their top arc. Like there probably are people that do say it, but like not a ton of people that would say that's their top arc. So I want to put out a video explaining why I do think that's like the pinnacle of the series. But yeah, that's my top 5, and I'm a little sick, so sorry if I've been coughing during the video and shit like that. But yeah, anyways, more videos to come. I've got some scripts written. I just want to get some better equipment and again get some time to do these videos. And I want to put this one up just to see the response it gets. If it gets a good response, then I'm definitely going to go out and buy that equipment as soon as possible. If it doesn't get a good response, I'm still going to buy the equipment because I love doing these videos, but we'll see. We'll play it out from here. But anyways, this is Tashi Stallion, another video signing off, and have a good day, and happy 20th anniversary to One Piece.